What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today I'm doing a rant if online-only games are becoming a problem. When I was growing up, if you played something that was online only, it was because it was an MMO. You know, stuff like World of Warcraft. Of course this required a server. That's where it decided what loot you got and saved your characters. Now we're getting a new genre. Stuff that's multiplayer only and doesn't really even have bot functionality. You know, I was actually a pretty big fan of Counter-Strike on the Xbox. This game is pretty broken and flawed. It doesn't compete at all with the PC version, but at least it still functions. I can put this in an Xbox today and still go against some computer-controlled players or team up with my friends. We're now in an age where there are some games that are online only and do not exist without the server. Look at Lawbreakers. This came out just a couple days ago and is absolutely bombing. It had about 3,000 concurrent players on its launch day. That means 3,000 people were playing it once on the peak day of its release. Compare that against something like Battleborn. This was considered a tremendous failure of last year. Battleborn had 12,000 concurrent players on its first day. That is such a humongous divide, and even that was considered an astronomical loss in money. So how can we be in an age where 2,000 players or 3,000 players are logging in a game and we're expected to keep those servers up? Something seems wrong, immoral, and just downright dirty about the fact that the couple thousand people who bought Lawbreakers hoping for this long-term awesome experience are literally going to have a game that is shut off and rendered useless within a matter of weeks. I mean, really think about that. This is an online-only, server-dependent game. If they shut down the servers, I mean, it's just gone. The $30 all those people spent, poof, you might as well light it on fire. Before anyone can rush to the comments and say something like, yeah, Overwatch is like that too, along with Team Fortress 2. These are all online-only games, but I think that those came in early enough in the process that they could get a fan base. We're now in a space where everybody is competing for the same audience. Multiplayer-only fans is a pretty small group. There's not exactly hundreds of millions of these people running around. So what my thought process is, I think we're hitting a wall for the first time, where now always online games are going to have to start competing and consuming each other. Several are going to have to fail every single year, and we're going to be paying the price. Look at For Honor. This suffered a humongous fallout of its fan base. Originally, people were playing it, and they were liking it. Myself, I didn't care for it too much, but at least it had a single-player campaign and some pretty interesting multiplayer aspects. But there's a problem. The game constantly checks the multiplayer servers. Even if you're playing single player, it pings Ubisoft every couple minutes, and if you lose connection for any reason, it'll kick you out. There are these times where I'm doing like a 35-minute mission and I'm storming this giant Viking stronghold and I'm throwing people off walls, and all of a sudden it does that check, doesn't see the server, and kicks me back to the start screen. Why does that exist? This is now an era where all of a sudden companies think that it's absolutely important that we be watched, that they keep an eye on us, you know, to make sure we're not cheating. Well, you know what? At least let me enjoy what I bought with my money. If you want to keep getting my money, you're going to have to trust me to enjoy it. I understand that part of this is because they're trying to cram everything full of microtransactions now. It's hard to keep a game going with microtransactions at a steady pace if you're not able to constantly monitor people. But what happens when there's nobody left to monitor? We're also facing a totally new problem that's never happened before with Friday the 13th. I am a pretty big defender of this game. It's glitchy, it's buggy, it's not very well balanced, but I'll be damned if it isn't super fun to hunt down camp counselors. If you haven't played this, basically 8 people go into a room, 7 become camp counselors, 1 becomes Jason. If you're Jason, it's your job to try and kill everybody before they can get away. If you're a counselor, of course your job is to find like car keys or boat parts to fix vehicles and escape. Pretty simple, right? Well, the issue is that they haven't come out with any new major content since launch. The same 3 maps and same couple characters are all people can play as, so the super diehard lovers of the game have actually gotten bored. They're not to the phase yet where they want to quit, But now they're just trying to break the game for their own enjoyment. People are now going to find like the car keys to make sure no one else can escape, and then getting a shotgun and hunting down their teammates. I'm not joking. There is such a humongous problem with team killing right now in front of the 13th, they're having to patch it out. They're having to remove a major aspect of this game, something that several of the mechanics are all built around the fact that you have to be careful with your aim and delicate with your ammo. Now, it's just getting to the point where people are ruthlessly slaughtering everybody they can because they don't care. Okay, I lost some experience. I'm already level 99. It doesn't matter. But now you're ruining the experience for the other players and even Jason. It's making me think that I think we need to have some sort of status quo established for what an always online game can be. You need to have enough maps, characters, and modes that even on day one, there's going to be enough to do to keep people engaged. Lawbreakers doesn't suck, but it's basically just an Overwatch clone. I know the developers hate that people say that, but I mean, come on. You have characters that have like Widowmaker's grapple hook and everything. It just looks like a new Overwatch with a cool gravity mechanic and a couple new guns. Because of it, you weren't able to get the attention you needed for your servers to be full, and now every single person who's buying your game right now is basically dumping their money down a giant pit. We've really come to a point in a strange way where all of a sudden every game we buy has a giant timer on it, and when that timer goes to 0, it just stops being playable. How is that possible? It's so strange to think that games are almost like milk. You gotta drink it before it expires. You know, I'm pretty excited for Destiny 2. Probably more than I should be, just because it is an interesting project and I played so much of Destiny 1. But now, in the back of my head, at all times, I'm going to be thinking, how long until everybody quits? How long until Bungie shuts off the servers? How long will this game still exist on my shelf and be playable? Well, gamers, what do you think? Are you okay with a bunch of games failing in order for giant projects like PLAYERUNKNOWN'S Battleground or GTA 5 to survive? Big projects like this are making a lot of money and are a lot of fun to play, but when you look at all the Battleborns and Lawbreakers, it's hard not to feel like some people are losing in order for others to have a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. If you do me a giant favor, give this video a like and keep dreaming. Hey, I want to say real fast here, just as a joke, this week I actually got to show my my nephew Mario for the first time, like ever. This kid's 7 years old, never ever seen Mario. We played some Mario Kart and it was hilarious. Watching a kid for the first time try and figure out who's Princess Peach? He kept calling the main character Romeo, so I don't know. It was one of those weird moments where I realized that gaming may be changing and evolving, but the next generation is going to pick it up and have a great time, no matter what us old adults think of it. Romeo! Oh, hey, I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.